Welcome students. In the last video we learned about the design of rotor of synchronous generator, and we have already solved some numerical problems based on the design of synchronous generator, that is a rotor of synchronous generator. Next we need to learn about the design of turbo alternators. So what is meant by turbo alternators? The alternators which have non-salient poles and the number of poles are less and which runs at very high speed, that is 120 f by p is the synchronous speed equation. Ns is equal to 120 f by p. When p value is less, then the ns value will be very high. So the alternator which are run with high speed is called as a turbo alternators. So in turbo alternators, the diameter is limited by the maximum peripheral speed, that is Va. So the diameter D, capital D, is considered or it is calculated by the maximum peripheral speed, that is Va. So peripheral speed Va is given by pi into D into Ns, where D is the stator bore diameter and Ns is the synchronous speed in RPS. So based on this equation, capital D is equal to Va divided by pi into Ns. Correct. The output equation of this AC machine can be modified by using the relation. The KVA rating or output KVA is given by Q is equal to C naught into D square L into Ns. So the output equation of turbo alternator can be modified. So we have KVA rating or output KVA of the machine is Q is equal to C naught into D square L into Ns. Correct. Where C naught is 11 into BAV into AC into kWs into 10 to the power minus 3. BAV specific magnetic loading, AC specific electrical loading, kWs is stator winding factor into 10 to the power minus 3. So if you substitute the value of D as Va divided by pi into Ns and the expression for CO in the expression for C naught in the equation for Q, so it will become Q is equal to 11 into BAV into AC into kWs into 10 to the power minus 3, that is Q is equal to C naught into D square LNS in that equation. So this is C naught. So D square is D is nothing but Va divided by pi into Ns. So D square is this value into L into Ns. So now the value of Q becomes, so if you see the equation, so here Ns square is there, so this Ns and this one Ns is cancelled, so in the denominator you will be getting Ns. Correct. So 11 divided by pi, if you pi square, 11 divided by pi square if you take, so pi square is nearly 10, so it will become 1.11. Correct. And here Va square is there, so I have written Va into Va. Correct. So the equation of Q becomes 1.11 BAV AC kWs into Va square divided by Ns into L into 10 to the power minus 3. So there is no term of capital D. So it is a the output equation is the parameter of peripheral speed, that is Va. So the length armature L can be estimated from the above equation. So D can be calculated by this equation, Va divided by pi into Ns, and length armature length L can be found out from this equation, that is output equation. So the output equation of a turbo alternator is given by this parameter 1.11 BAV AC kWs into Va square divided by Ns into L into 10 to the power minus 3. Now based on the design of turbo alternators, output equation of turbo alternators, we need to solve one problem. A 3000 rpm 50 Hz 3-phase turbo alternator has a core length of 0.94 meter. The average gap density is 0.45 Weber per meter square and ampere conductors per meters are 25,000. Correct. A 3000 rpm, that is the high speed, 3000 rpm. 50 Hz 3-phase turbo alternator has a core length of 0.94, that is L, capital L. The average gap density is 0.45 Weber per meter square, that is BAV. And ampere conductors per meter is 25,000, that is AC. The peripheral speed of the rotor is 100 meter per second and the length of the air gap is 20 mm, LG. Find the kVA output of the machine when the coils are full pitch. In the first case it is full pitch and in the second case is chorded by 1/3 of pole pitch, and the winding can be taken as infinitely distributed with this phase spread of 60 degree. So the winding field winding can be taken as infinitely distributed with the phase spread of 60 degree, and the coil is full pitch coil and it is chorded by 1/3 of pole pitch. Now in that, first we need to calculate the synchronous speed, that is ns. So it is given that it is the speed is in rpm, so 3000 divided by 60, so you will be getting 50 rps, correct. So next we need to find out the peripheral speed. So peripheral speed is pi dr into ns, so you will be getting 100, correct. Va is the it is given that peripheral speed of the rotor is 100 meter per second. So we can say that peripheral speed Va is equal to pi into dr into ns is equal to 100. Correct. Dr is the turbo alternator. So we have represented it in terms of dr. Correct. Diameter of the rotor. Diameter of the rotor, which is given as dr, and stator bore diameter is capital D. So it is given that peripheral speed is always represented in terms of dr, correct. So you can have Va is equal to pi into dr into ns, because peripheral speed is with respect to the rotor speed at the periphery. So we need to write it as in terms of dr. So peripheral speed Va is equal to pi into dr into ns, which is equal to 100. So diameter of the rotor from this you can calculate as 100 divided by pi into ns, correct, or Va. So Va is 100 divided by pi into ns, which is given by 50. So you will be getting dr as 0.637 meter. So stator bore is capital D, which is equal to dr plus 2 into Lg, length of the air gap. So 0.637 plus 2 into 0.02 is the 20 millimeter it is given. So the length of air gap is given as 20 millimeter. So you have to substitute here 0.02 in terms of meter. So 2 into 0.02. So you will be getting 0.677 meter. That is the stator bore diameter, capital D. Here distribution factor KD is equal to 0.955. Distribution factor is given as with respect to this phase spread of 60 degree. The winding can be taken as with the phase spread of 60 degree. We can calculate the distribution factor as 0.955, and it is first case it is full pitch coil. So it is given that full pitch coil. So pitch factor you can take it as Kp is equal to 1. So winding factor is Kw is equal to Kd into Kc. Kd into Kp. So 0.955 into 1. So you will be getting 0.955. That is the winding factor. So this distribution factor is based on the phase spread of 60 degrees. So in the initial classes we have learned about the how to calculate the distribution factor, correct, based on the phase spread angle, that is alpha. So it is sin n alpha divided by 2 divided by n sin alpha by 2, correct. So based on that equation we have distribution factor as 0.955. So now have in the first case it is given that full pitch coil. So we have to take Kp is equal to 1 and winding factor Kw is equal to 0.955 into 1. So it is 0.955. So Q is equal to 11 into Kw into Bav into AC into d square L into Ns into 10 to the power minus 3. So from that if you substitute the value 11 into Kw is 0.955 and Bav value it is given as 0.45, correct. So Bav value here it is given as 0.45 Weber, that is average gap density is 0.45 Weber per meter square. So 0.45. And AC is 25,000 into d square is 0.667. We got it from here. So here 0.667 meter stator bore diameter. So into 0.94, that is length of core length, stator core length, that is it is given that in the stator core length is 0.94 meter. So into 50 into 10 to the power minus 3. So 50 is the ns value into 10 to the power minus 3. So you will be getting 2480 kV. So that is the output of the synchronous generator. Next case, that is when it is given in the problem that in the next case it is given that angle of chording is chorded by 1 by 3 of pole pitch, and it is chorded by 1 by 3 of pole pitch, correct. So if you consider that value, so angle of chording is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 means full pitch coil, it is 180 degree. So now it is 1 by 3 of chording, correct. So you can say that 180 divided by 3, so that is 60 degree. So the pitch factor is given by cos alpha by 2. So if you substitute the value of alpha as 60 degree, so it is cos 30. Cos 30 is 0.866. So the pitch factor will be given as 0.866. So angle of chording is full pitch coil, it is 180 degree. Correct. So it is 1 by 3 of full pitch coil. So it is 180 divided by 3. So you will be getting 60 degree as a chording. So now pitch factor is given by Kp. Kp is equal to cos alpha by 2. So alpha value is 60 degrees. So you will be getting cos 30. So the value of pitch factor is Kp is given by 0.866. So the winding factor Kw is 0.955 into 0.866. So you will be getting 0.827. That is the Kw value. So if you substitute that value, Q value, the winding factor, that is 0.2827. So here it is all other values are same, and Kw value is 0.955 here in the initial case. Now in the second case it is 0.827, that is the winding factor, that is Kw 827. So if you substitute that value, so 2480 into 0.827 divided by 0.955, correct. So divided by 0.955. So you will be getting new value of Q is 2147. Next we need to learn about what is the expression of length of air gap in case of turbo alternator. So what is the expression of length of air gap in case of turbo alternator? So the length of air gap can be estimated from the ratio Lg by tau. Lg by tau. Lg is the length of air gap and tau is the pole pitch, correct. So it is pi d by p. So it is calculated as 0.02 to 0.025. The ratio of length of air gap to pole pitch is around 0.02 to 0.025. So we have MMF for air gap expression is 800,000 kg Bg into Lg, where kg is the gap contraction factor, Bg is the maximum flux density in the air gap, and Lg is the length of air gap. So we have MMF for air gap is given by, it is 80% of no load field MMF. So we have already learned that MMF at the air gap is given by, it is around 80% of no load field MMF, that is ATF naught. But we have ATF naught equal to SCR into ATA, that is short circuit ratio into ATA, that is armature field MMF. ATA is the armature field MMF. So you can say that no load field MMF is equal to short circuit ratio into armature field MMF. So we have ATA is equal to, that is armature field MMF, equal to AC into tau by 2. AC is the specific electrical loading into tau, that is the pole pitch divided by 2. So we have SCR for turbo alternator is taken as 0.5 to 0.7 for turbo alternator, and BG is taken as BAV divided by KF. KF is the field form factor. So BG equal to BAV divided by field form factor. So now equate the two equations of MMF for air gap. So MMF for air gap, one equation is 800,000 Bg kg into Lg, which is equal to 0.8 into ATF naught. So 80% of the no load field MMF. From that 800,000 kg Bg into Lg, which is equal to 0.8 into ATF naught is SCR into ATA. SCR into ATA. If you substitute that value, so 800,000 kg Bg into Lg, which is equal to 0.8 into SCR into, what is ATA? ATA is AC into tau by 2. AC into tau by 2. So from this equation, LG is equal to 0.8 into SCR into AC into tau by 2 divided by 800,000 kg into BG. Correct. So which is also equal to, if you divide 0.8 divided by 80,000, so you will be getting around 10 to the power 6 here. So now divided by 2 is there. So 0.8 divided by 2 is there. So it is 0.4. 0.4 divided by this one is 10 to the power 6. So 0.5 into SCR into AC into tau divided by kg into BG into 10 to the power 6. 10 to the power 6. So if you rearrange this one, so you will be getting 0.5 into SCR into AC into tau divided by, so kg BAV, that is BG, you can write it as BAV divided by KF, correct. So BAV divided by KF into 10 to the power 6. So rearranging, so 0.5 into SCR into AC into tau into this KF, you can take it as in the numerator. So the final expression for LG becomes 0.5 into SCR into AC into tau into KF, that is field form factor, divided by kg into BAV into 10 to the power 6. So this is the final expression. That is, if you know the value of short circuit ratio and specific electrical loading, pole pitch, that is pi d by p, and field form factor, that is gap contraction factor here, this is specific magnetic loading. So we can find out the value of length of air gap. So this is one of the important derivation to calculate the length of air gap. Now, in the last part of the design of synchronous generator is the procedure to design the rotor winding of synchronous generator. So first step is take full load field MMF as twice the armature MMF. Full load field MMF is given by ATFL, which is equal to twice the armature field MMF. So full load field MMF ATFL equal to 2 times the ATA, that is armature field MMF, where ATA is given by 2.7 I phase into T phase into kWs divided by P, total divided by P. So that we have seen. So the full load field MMF in turbo alternator is ATF is equal to 2 into ATA. Let V be the exciter voltage, excitation given by the field winding, given to the field winding. Then voltage across each field coil EF is given by 0.8 to 0.85, that is 80 to 85% of exciter voltage divided by P, that is number of poles. Calculate the length of the mean turn of the field winding from this equation. Third step is you need to calculate the length of the mean turn of the field winding. So that is LMTF, that is length of mean turn of the field winding, is given by 2 into L, that is core length, plus 2.3 into pole pitch, that is tau, that is pi d by p, plus 0.24. 0.24 is the insulation part, extension part, we can consider it is around 0.24. Now voltage across each field coil is given by, that is EF is equal to IF into RF. So IF into RF is nothing but resistance of the field winding. So resistance of the field winding is given by rho into TF into LMTF divided by AF, correct. So IF into TF is given by ATFL. So rho is the specific resistivity into length of mean turn of the field winding divided by area of the field winding. So ATFL is IF into TF into rho, that is specific resistivity, into LMTF, length of mean turn of the field winding, divided by area of the field winding. So AF is equal to ATFL rho LMTF divided by EF, correct. So from that, so where IF is the field current and TF is the number of turns in each field coil. So from this equation, EF is equal to this expression divided by AF. So from this AF you can write it as ATFL rho LMTF divided by EF, where IF is the field current and TF is the number of turns in each field coil. So AF is the area of field conductor, area of the field conductor. So LMTF is the length of mean turn, LFTF is the length of mean turn of the field winding, and rho is the resistivity in ohms per meter, resistivity in ohms per meter. Now fourth step is total area of the field conductor. So next step is we need to calculate the total area of the field conductors. So that we can calculate from this expression, that is 2 into P. P is the number of poles, ATFL divided by delta F. What is ATFL? ATFL is, you can calculate from here, correct. ATFL is the IF into TF. IF into TF is the AT FL. So we have total area of the field conductor is given by 2 times the number of poles into ATFL divided by current density, that is delta F. And number of field conductors equal to 2P into ATFL divided by delta F into AF. Delta F into AF, number of field conductors. So if you divide by number of area. So conductors per slot is taken as 2P into ATFL divided by delta F into AF into number of state rotor slots, that is SR. So if you divide the number of field conductors by number of rotor slots, you will be getting conductors per slot equal to 2P into ATFL divided by delta F into AF into SR. So that is the number of rotor slots. So that is the procedure of design of rotor winding of synchronous generator. So that completes the module number 5, that is the design of synchronous generator. Thank you.